Earlier this week, I ran down my favorite parks, number 30 to 16. Check that out if you want. And now it's time for the grand finale. I've been to over 150 parks that have a coaster. Some tiny, most are not. So there is a lot of competition to break into my top 30, and it gets even more intense when you drill down to the top 15. Today, it's time for the best of the best. These are my all-time favorite parks. First, I want to thank my Patreons and my new member, Action and Attractions. If you want bonus access, bonus content, and have your name listed at the end of each video, check my links below and join. Last time, I started off with 5 parks that weren't good enough for the top 30, but still deserve some consideration. Let's do the same here and start with Holiday World. Some people love this park to death. I think it has some good qualities. 1 elite wooden coaster, 2 other solid woodies, a very good wing coaster, free parking, free drinks, free sunscreen. This is close to a top 30 park, but I just don't think it has enough to crack my list. It does have a very good water park if you're into that. I'm not. So for my list, I have to leave this off. Silverwood is another park in the middle of nowhere. I got to visit here once in 2019, sporting 2 good wooden coasters. Aftershock was their best coaster. They have the original modern inverting coaster. I also love their 2 major flats in front of the park, their Larson Drop Tower and SPF Maxi Dance Party 360. For its location, any park would be great. And this happens to have a lot. And I didn't even get the right stunt pilot, so that would add to an already good coaster lineup. Kennywood is a very unique park, having 3 wooden coasters around 100 years old, and some monster steel coasters, including one of my personal favorites, Phantom's Revenge. I've seen people who love this park, and some who absolutely hate it. I'm on the side of, it's good, just not great. Definitely worth your time if you're passing through the Pittsburgh area. You just don't see parks that mix the old and the new quite like this. Kentucky Kingdom is a park that's risen from the dead, changed hands several times, and through it all, you have a solid park with a great 1-2 punch, Lightning Run and Storm Chaser. I'm sorry, Wind Chaser, being a pair of airtime machines. A couple good wooden coasters also, a few flats that are worth your time, and the water park that's right in the middle of the main park. It's not the biggest or the best, but anytime you have a great 1-2 punch like this, it's gotta be on your list. Last one. Six Flags Discovery Kingdom is a park with a lot of pros and a few cons. Kind of a hybrid between a thrill park and a show park, having 10 coasters plus animal shows. Some of these coasters are small, or they're clones, but you got Medusa and Joker. That 1-2 punch is also very good. They got rid of Harley Quinn. That's addition by subtraction. And even though it's not my top 30, my last 2 visits in 2019 and 2025 made me really like this park. Now, a new Six Flags park to kick off the final countdown. Number 15. Carowinds. Yet another Paramount park that Cedar Fair saved, but not the last on this list. Carowinds was never that big or popular of a park until Cedar Fair bought it. Paramount even sent Stealth over there because it didn't have the foot traffic Great America did. Cedar Fair saw the potential in this place, gave it 2 monster B&Ms, including Fury 325, one of the country's premier coasters, and followed that up with Copperhead Strike, the first major mock launch looper in America. This complemented by Afterburn, a top-tier B&M invert. There's not a whole lot else that stands out here. The supporting cast is very weak, no flat rides that really pop. You have your bulk of smaller or not so good coasters, and you come here for the big 4. Those rides carrying this park as it continues to grow and get better. Number 14, Nagashima Spaland. Here we have my 4th and favorite Japanese park in my top 30. I call this the Cedar Point of Japan, sitting on a peninsula, jam-packed full of coasters and flat rides. Having a Giga on one side, a monster RMC on the other, its supporting cast made up of old but awesome Togos and Schwarzkopfs. Throw in a B&M Flyer. And my biggest beef with this park was the early closing time. You really need 2 days here to do everything. I had to skip most of their flat rides, and their intimate first generation freefall was testing but never opened. That's another factor that makes this park what it is. Number 13, Hershey Park. I always said this is the most random theme park. You have Storm Runner, Sky Rush, Fahrenheit, Great Bear. There's no rhyme or reason. But that doesn't change how stacked this is as a coaster park. Then they add Candemonium as part of their new for 2020 Chocolate Town. That becomes the best ride in the park until they RMC Wildcat and make Wildcat's Revenge. On top of having a really good collection of 14 coasters, they have the Chocolate Factor and the Shooting Dark ride called Reese's Cup Fusion. As random as this park is, it doesn't get much better when it comes to riding coasters. Number 12, Dollywood. I've had my issues with this park, whether it be problems with Lightning Rod, rude employees, bad operations, but the last 2 times I've been there, it's been really good. Lightning Rod was obviously the big draw for me, even though it's taken a step back as Chain Rod, it's still very good. They have a great cast of supporting coasters in Thunderhead, Tennessee Tornado, Wild Eagle, Mystery Mine, and Wildwood Grove really rounded out this park, giving it that elite family area it really needed, having 2 very good Vekoma family coasters in there now. The park has a great atmosphere, it's very well themed, it has a lot of shows. One of the best train rides out there. Not too big on flat rides, but it doesn't need them. I don't love this as much as some people do, but it's still knocking on the door of my top 10. Number 11, Islands of Adventure. After my trip in 2021, I put this up at number 3, but after spending a full day there in 2025, I realized I overrated it a little bit. You have a great 1-2-3 coaster punch, Velocicoaster being one of the best coasters in the world, Hagrid's being possibly the best family coaster ever, and the Hulk being a park original and one of the most intense coasters of all time. Throw in some great dark rides like Forbidden Journey, Spider-Man, Reign of Kong, some of the highest rated water rides in Dudley Do Right, Popeyes, and Jurassic Park. I feel like the park was lacking a little bit in attractions, and that's why it seemed like a much better half-day park than a full-day park. But the ones they have are great, so Islands is still among my favorite parks. Number 10, Six Flags Fiesta Texas. Of all the major Six Flags parks, this is the least Six Flagsiest of them all. Set inside a quarry, using that as a backdrop, incorporating that into the train ride. Some of their coasters going on top of it, including 2 of their best, the Monster RMC Hybrid Iron Rattler, and the Monster B&M Floorless Superman Krypton Coaster. Throw in the Raptor Wonder Woman Golden Lasso Coaster, and the Dive Machine, Dr. Diabolical's Cliffhanger. The park is well presented, well themed, offers 11 solid coasters, has one of the best flat rides ever in the Joker. Ever since my first time here in 2017, I could see this was so much better than the other Six Flags park in Texas, and it is a lot of people's number 1 legacy Six Flags park, and for a good reason. Number 9, Six Flags Great America. I've been to this park 4 times since 2013, and I gotta say, this place is impressive. It's one of Six Flags' favorite parks, located right between Chicago and Milwaukee. It draws big crowds, it gets great investments, 16 coasters, including their latest one, Wrath of Rakshasa, I still need to get on. One of my favorite hypers ever in Raging Bull. Other powerhouse coasters in Goliath and Max Force. 2 underrated wooden coasters in Viper and American Eagle. And tons of supporting coasters. For my money, not a bad one in the entire park. Aside from the coasters, there's not much to say about this park, aside from very good operations from my experience. And this park should have a bright future in the new Six Flags chain. Number 8, Leesburg. My highest rated international park, Leesburg is a whole experience that really stands out above the rest. It's not loaded with coasters, but it has 4 that'll keep you coming back. The 1-2 punch of Helix and Balder, a pair of coasters that landed in my top 50, as well as Leesburg Bonnen and Valkyria. The park also has some great flat rides and dark rides we got to experience, spending 2 full days here to really soak everything in, and the park is presented and themed really well, located on a hillside and using that to their advantage. Helix and Leesburg Bonnen using that terrain to perfection. It also has the best virtual queue system I've ever seen, which made the experience that much better. Number 7, Six Flags Magic Mountain. My home park forever. I was spoiled for over 30 years. I've been here hundreds of times. The park that has the most coasters of any park in the world. A lot of them are great, but it's not a perfect park. I think everyone knows that. They can't have all their rides open at once. They're lacking in non-coaster rides. A lot of little things you notice when you go there so often, as opposed to being there for one day only. Their 1-2 punch of Twisted Colossus and X2 is among the best in the world, backed up by rides like Tatsu, Apocalypse, West Coast Racers, Viper, Full Throttle, and so many more. Everything built around the hill in the middle of the park. This place went big on thrills from the start, and they never really stopped. Even today, it's still getting great additions. Their 20th coaster coming soon next to Full Throttle. And serving the LA area, it's always going to be treated very well by the chain. Number 6, Silver Dollar City. For my first visit in 2018, I tossed this into my overall top 3. Then I moved a few hours away and have been here a bunch more times, and some of that magic has slipped away. So it's dropped a few spots, but not by much. This park is built in the Ozarks, an extremely hilly park. A lot of its rides using terrain perfectly. Time Traveler starting with a 90-foot vertical drop and one of my all-time favorite coasters. The RMC Woody in the back, Outlaw Run, also riding along the ground. Thunderation is one of the best mine trains ever, and that dives right out of the station into its course. Then you have awesome thrill coasters like Wildfire and Powder Keg, going along with spectacular 1880s style theming all over the park, a few decent flats, a great train, a world-class rapids ride in Mystic River Falls. You can tell this is Dollywood's sister park, and I think, for the most part, it has it beat. At least in the most important ways, and this is one of the coolest parks you can visit in the USA. Number 5. Busch Gardens Tampa. This was top 10 when I did my ranking in 2022, and then they got their one big standout elite coaster, Iron Gwazi, and voila, here it is, moving into my top 5. The entire park may be set in a city center in Tampa, Florida, but it immerses you into the Africa theming, even having African animals like giraffes and elephants inside the park. Take the train or the skyride to get the best view. They have 9 coasters now, Montu being the best invert in the US, Cheetah Hunt being one of the most interesting coasters you'll ever ride. Kumba and Shikara are monster B&M favorites. Throw in awesome flat rides like Falcon's Fury and Serengeti Flyer, plus that coaster collection, plus all its theming. It really doesn't get much more well-rounded than Busch Gardens Tampa. Number 4. Busch Gardens Williamsburg. I've always had this park one step ahead of its sister park in Tampa, and that hasn't changed. When Tampa was opening Iron Gwazi, Williamsburg was opening Pantheon, one of the greatest coasters in its own right, headlining 11 coasters, including 3 great B&Ms, Apollo's Chariot, Griffin, Alpengeist, the classic Loch Ness Monster, the fascinating Verbolten, add in the great European theming, each section being a different country, very immersive, this being deemed the world's most beautiful park something like a bazillion years in a row now. You have the gardens, the river setting, the park has an atmosphere that's hard to match anywhere else, and celebrating its 50th anniversary in 2025, this park will leave you in awe. Number 3. Epic Universe. 6 years and $7 billion after its announcement in 2019, Epic Universe opened to the public this summer and it was worth every penny. I got here on opening day, and if you saw my vlog, you know they limited the number of people in the park, so everything had a very short wait. They have 4 portals, everyone looks great. Dark Universe and its amazing dark ride, Monsters Unchained. Isle of Berk and the awesome family coaster, Hiccup's Wing Gliders. Ministry of Magic and the best ride in the entire park, Battle at the Ministry. And Super Nintendo World, my favorite area in the whole park for its immersive theming, home of the super unique and fun Minecart Madness. When you leave the portals, you're in Celestial Park, the centerpiece that holds everything together, home of one of the best coasters on the planet, Stardust Racers. This park is brand new and has room to expand, and it could use more rides to go along with its 2 shows, but that will come. They went all out for this place and it paid off. Between the quality of the rides, the quality of its theming and presentation, and the great experience I had, I'm putting this all the way at number 3 as of right now. Number 2. Cedar Point. If you're a coaster lover, why not go to this coaster paradise? 18 coasters, and unlike some parks that are very top heavy, this place has its headliners, like Steel Vengeance, Maverick, and Millennium Force. Now throw in Top Thrill 2, but it also has a solid base of supporting coasters that is almost unheard of in the coaster world. Raptor, Valraven, Gatekeeper, Magnum, Gemini, Siren's Curse. This park is on a huge peninsula, so it can't afford to fill it up with coasters and flat rides. The park is super flat, but everything is well presented. Not that it matters too much, but there isn't anything that's going to take away from your day in this coaster paradise. The park gets very crowded, so Fastlane is going to be a must on most days, but I've had some of my best park experiences here, and I will always love Cedar Point. Number 1. Kings Island. Ever since the COVID year of 2020, I knew that Kings Island was the best park in the country. Where Cedar Point really struggled that year, Kings Island hit it out of the park, and it just bolstered the experience I had in 2016 and 2018. Comparing that to my first trip in 2002 under Paramount, and how much better the park was now under Cedar Fair. Big new rides, a new attitude, a commitment to great operations and customer service that not even Disney can live up to. All here at this regional park outside Cincinnati. How that's possible, I don't even know, but Kings Island has a great culture that everyone seems to buy into. And you know when you get there, the rides will be open. They will be running with the max number of trains. The employees will be on the ball and friendly. Ever since 2016, I've been there 5 times, and it's been great every time, no exceptions. The coaster collection isn't the best, but it's still top tier. Diamondback, Mystic Timbers, and the Beast are all in my top 50. Orion and Banshee aren't far behind. There isn't a bad coaster in the park. Racer, Bat, even Invertigo is kinda awesome. 15 coasters in general, good flat rides, okay theming. Most of you will disagree with me, and that's okay, but this is the country's all-around best park. It's been that way for me 5 years running, and we'll see if anything can knock it off anytime soon. That's a wrap on my top 30 parks. If you missed part 1 of this series, check that out. That link's down below. And if you have any other thoughts on my picks, sound off in the comments below. Before you go, don't forget to drop a like, and if you're new here and love coasters, please give me a sub. Also, check out my second channel, where I post copyright-free off-ride footage. Thank you all for watching, and I'll see you all next time.